Anthony. Jared.
Martinez. So we're here to present to you. Okay. So for our final recommendation, we agreed that it's in Target's best interest for Target to create their own cell phone service. So we chose a personal cell phone service because it's the best way to get sales up as opposed to with your competitor Walmart, who have come together to construct a straight top cell phone service. So we feel like Target would have the upper hand if they can get on top of where Walmart is right now with their own cell phone service.
Alright, when we say cell phone service, we're talking, it's a type of cell phone service called a mobile virtual network, and what that is like it uses the existing infrastructure of the current like carriers, like AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, through a contract sort of. So you don't have to build your own infrastructure, which allows you to be more affordable. And for the timeline estimate is like at the start, probably Target would be looking at what location to start at, a preferable location that's like an urban area, because generally in electronics, 56% of your sales in electronics comes from people under 30, which would go into the millennial range, and millennials prefer to live in urban areas. And at that point, you're probably going to have to propose what's called a bundle to a carrier of some sort, and they would look it over. So it's probably like 6 months in. If a proposal is approved, generally they'll take about 25% to 30% of revenue as like a cut per se. 8 months in, for a prepaid service to work, you guys need SIM cards. And one of the recommendations in the paper is you can either buy your own equipment and make SIM cards, but your Target's not experiencing that, so you could just order them in bulk from a company. 12 months in, you might need to produce, like, say, a website to handle activations and whatnot of cell phones for that to go through, because that would be what Target would have to handle on their end. And probably like 18 months in is probably when you would like launch. And generally, according to some prepaid cell phone plans that started off, they have invested about like 700,000 worth, which I'm assuming that's like for like the billing system. All systems are related to customer service and getting the necessary like SIM cards and whatnot, and also working with the carriers to like look over the proposal. And probably within 3 years, generally, like these types of services bring back a 3% gain, which isn't much, but it will still be a gain.
From idea to shelf, we're looking at about 3 years.
So this technology, the MVNOs, it's very cheap to launch, easy and cheap to launch, since you just pretty much sign with an existing carrier and they just let you use their infrastructure. And it cost, like example is with GSM Nation, and they only had to pay $700,000 to work with AT&T. And they could do that because all the customer service, the billing, and all that stuff is all done with their business and not AT&T. They just simply give them infrastructure for running the cell network. And given the size of Target, this would be like pretty small investment, only $700,000.
So 51% of consumers say they would like to switch because of the price, which is exactly what a prepaid service like what it would serve, because a prepaid service is cheaper than like a big carrier like Verizon or AT&T, because Target doesn't have to invest in all the infrastructure, while 49% said reasons other than like price. So like that could be like a value add. Like Target might be able to offer like a discount on like say electronics, or like that discount in certain areas, which increase sales in those other areas. So it's kind of a win-win. And 20% said they would change. They wouldn't want to change because it's a hassle. But if Target were to set up a super easy, like simple way to sign up, that would probably be negated. and 8% are content with their service, so those people you might have to work for through advertising.
So thank you for listening to my presentation.
My question, only like thinking of electronics, we don't have a huge margin in electronics, but the majority of the money in our electronics department comes from like additional add-ons. So would you be looking to like include cell phone cases or chargers and any of that too in the initial sales?
It's
to
more
make a
about
little bit
like
more money?
providing the service, but
Okay.
also having literally like having your own Verizon or but by Target. So it's also the convenience aspect of it's a Target, like you're never more than like 15 minutes away from a Target, but you might be half an hour away from a Verizon store to go there and get your phone fixed or
Gotcha.
start
Okay.
a plan. But now you can go to Target and be like, hey, I need a new phone or I need it fixed, or you just start a plan. It's supposed to be like bang bang instead of having to go to Verizon, which can take you hours and a lot more money.
Gotcha. Because right now we have like the Target Mobile representative in stores, in the majority of our stores, so maybe we could just add this right onto that, so it's just one additional step. Okay. Well, that makes more sense, thank you.
Okay, I have a question about the future of cell phones, sort of in general here. So you've described Walmart's Straight Talk plan a little bit, proposed this for Target. Perhaps there would be opportunities for other retailers, whether it's a grocery store or another department store, whoever it might be. You've also mentioned that people don't like Verizon, they don't like AT&T and the other big carriers. In the future, so say 10 years from now, do you see the cell phone market being more like cable TV, where there's a couple of big distributors, like sort of like that now, but and then everybody else is sort of providing or kind of jumping on top of that?
I think it's gonna stay the same.
Do you see
A little change in,
Verizon and AT&T getting out of being the primary carrier and just leasing off their tower and their infrastructure to
I would
these
say
other
definitely. I would say they definitely, instead of doing like prevent like the monopolization, they're definitely gonna sell more to Target now that everything they can. If they wanna sell to Target, they can get a Verizon phone from Target, still using the Target aspect though. So that Verizon can sell their phones to Target where they can get their plan through Target.
One of the driving forces behind this is competition, because consumers are looking less and less to be trapped into contracts, and so they're looking for prepaid options, and then those carriers are willing to make they don't view these types of services as like competitors, since they're usually getting a cut of the profit. So they're usually more than willing to offer their infrastructure to those services, and other competitors jump in, because then all of a sudden one person gets more customers, and other carriers follow suit and less restrictions.
Do they do this, so AT&T for example, do they do this in other markets? So internet, for example, would they sell off some of their, or rent out some of their infrastructure to Comcast or?
I'm pretty sure they do now. I don't know
Warner?
if they do it to big names like Comcast, but I know they sell to Metro PCS, the smaller cell phone providers, and they do cable and internet. And so does Verizon, but it's a different line. I'm not sure if it's come from the same towers, but they do use their towers for smaller subsidiaries.
Mhm.